Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how we can use Flic buttons to create and update records in CDS. For those of you who've never seen Flic buttons before, they're these teeny tiny little IoT devices, but they're really cool and really powerful. So they come with 3 different actions, so you can either click it, double click it, or hold it, and then each of those different actions can trigger different events using the app. But the exciting thing for those of us in the Microsoft Business Applications space is that we can use them to trigger a flow, which is great. So what I'll do today is I'll show you how I can trigger a flow on click, which will go and create a record in CDS, and then I'll do another flow on double click, which will find that record and update it. And what I'm going to do is manage some records related to evacuations. So in my organisation, we have 4 offices across the UK, and anytime any of those offices is evacuated, what we need to do is notify the other offices to say, hey, we're out of the office just now because of an evacuation, please don't try and contact us, or because nobody will be there to answer the phone. And then another one to say, hey, we're all back in the office, everybody's safe, don't worry about it. But we also want to be able to record when these evacuations have happened, how often they've happened, maybe make notes. So I've created a really simple entity in CDS called evacuation, and I've just added a few fields here. So the date time that it ended, the date time it started, and the office. And it looks a bit like this. You can see we've got an office option set, the date time started, date time ended. And obviously we could go and create these manually, but if you've ever been in a fire drill or in a proper evacuation, you'll know that it can be a bit panicked, things take a while to happen, you need to get people out, and your focus is really on getting out of the building, not on updating people. So wouldn't it be great if we could trigger that on press of one button? And that's really what we're going to try and show today. So the first thing we need to do is to open our Flic app, which hopefully I'll be able to show you here. And then when you've opened your button, what you can do is go to the click action, scroll to advanced, and then pick Microsoft Flow, and you can use that to trigger a flow by click and add. And I'll do the same for the double click. And that's it from the phone's point of view. So the next step is to go and create a flow. You'll see obviously I've created these before, but I'll show you how easy it is to do from scratch. So if I go to new instant flow, we can skip this. And if I look for my connector here, under Flic, we can see the trigger here is when a Flic is pressed. So I pick that, then I can pick the Flic button that I'm using. I've got 2 called, one called my Flic, and then I'm going to pick the click to click my Flic. When you click your Flic button, one of the outputs that you get is the click time, but the way it's formatted isn't super user-friendly in terms of how it's presented, so I want to be able to use that as part of the title for my record in CDS. So what I'm going to do is just format that really quickly using a compose action. So I'll pick compose. For my input, I'm going to take an expression. I'm going to use the format date time expression, and I'm going to use that click time, and then I'm going to format that as the day, the month as string, and then the full year. There is okay, and that's it. And then we can go and create a record in CDS. So we'll pick create a new record. Current environment, and then we'll pick evacuations. When I can find it, there we go. And then for the title, I'm just going to pick the office and the output of the date, and then I will pick the time it started as the click time, and the office, I'll pick our Glasgow office, and I can save that, and that's it. Super simple. So when I click my button, and hopefully you'll hear this in the microphone when I click it, it's going to go away and run. I always panic when that pops up. And come on. You can see it's running. Hopefully it succeeded. And if I go to here and go back to my evacuations, we've now got a new one created just now at 21:46, which is great. So that's created it for us, works super well. So the next thing we need to do is be able to end this action. So the way we do that is we create another flow. Again, just using the instant flow. And then again, we're going to use the Flic trigger. And we'll use the same Flic, but this time we're going to use the double click event. And then what we want to do is find the active evacuation records related to that office that I'm in. So I'll show you really quickly how we can do that. So pick evacuations. And then what we'll need is a filter query, so no data filter query. I'm not super great at OData from scratch. Fortunately, Jonas Rapp has created the Fetch XML builder in XRM Toolbox, which if you're not using, you really should be. And so in here, we can just pick our entity and then add our filter conditions. So I want the office to be Glasgow, and I want to make sure that it's an active one. And then I can just go to view flowless parameters here. And it pops up this little window. And then I can just copy that. And I'll minimize this and paste it in here, which is awesome. I can't thank Jonas enough for this. And then what we want to do is update a record. So we're going to update the evacuations. What you'll see is this is going to list it out. And actually that's a good thing, because what might happen if you had multiple Flic buttons around your office, you might have multiple people triggering it all at the same time. So we really want to be able to go and say, we'll find any active ones related to this office and just update all of them. So it's going to take that record identifier, which will be evacuation. And then we're just going to update it with the end date as the click time, and then we'll set the status to inactive and then save. And then if I double click this, it will, yeah, that's fine, run in a second. There we go. And if I open or refresh this record, hopefully what we'll see is it's now been set to inactive with an ended time. So you can see that's really straightforward, really simple. With just one click and then one double click, we've been able to create a record and then update that record as ended with the time of that evacuation. So from a user's point of view, they don't need to remember to log into any systems. They just press a button that can be stuck to their desk or, you know, on the back of their phone or wherever else it might be, and that'll set it all off for them and they've done everything they need. Obviously, because this is in Flow, one of the really great things for us is we could use it to send SMS notifications to everybody in our office, or email notifications, or whatever other method of communication we might want. I'm not going to do that today, but we have tested that in my organisation. So you can use the power of Power Automate to send all of these notifications across your organisation really quickly, really straightforwardly. So hopefully that's given you some ideas about what you might be able to do in your organisation using really simple little buttons. I'd love to hear your ideas and your feedback on this, and look forward to speaking to you again with the next video. Bye.